What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Paul. This is the Leeds Therapy. Thank you, as ever, for stopping by. On the screen, you'll see my socials. If you give those a follow for me, I would really, really appreciate it. We are literally 5 away from 4,000. So if you're not subscribed and this just comes into your recommended, please consider subscribing. I really want to get over the 4,000 mark. Also, as well, the podcast apps will be on there as well. So Spotify and also the Apple Podcasts and all of your other ones as well. So, Jesus Christ, where do you start with that? You can't legislate for the game whatsoever at all. It's I didn't watch the game. I was in the gym, so I try and make a point of making sure that for me, with being 45 and trying to keep my health in shape, which is no good if you're a Leeds United fan. I'm going to just say that now. It just really isn't. I saw the lineup for the team, and I thought interesting that he has put Gruev in there rather than Tanaka, which I found a little bit strange, which said to me that he was going for a more of a holding midfield than anything else at the start of the actual game. Okafor made sense. Nemecha, we know, is obviously he's injured, so he's going to be out for a little while. There's not a lot we can do about that. It's just one of those things. It's the way that it is. I will say that I feel like we missed Nemecha in the game, just his energy up front and also his ability to have the ball stick to him and just to have, running options, etc., so on and so forth. So we did miss him, and you could see that we missed him. But the first kind of 10 minutes or so, we were absolutely fine. The high press was working really well for us, but for whatever reason, we decided to sit back deeper, and we sat into kind of like this low block, and it just wasn't working for us whatsoever at all. We couldn't get on the ball. Liverpool were running through our midfield absolutely just easily. They had a shot that comes off of the crossbar. Perry makes a couple of good saves, etc., so on and so forth. And the end of the first half, you're thinking 0-0. Yeah, we've kind of gotten away with that a little bit. We didn't look as energised as what we normally would do. I'm going to give the players a little bit of, or a little less flack because of the amount of football that they've actually played in the last few days. I think it's important to acknowledge that. I mean, those 3 games in the space of 7 days is just absolutely nuts. And the high level and intensity that we've had to play in those 3 games is mental. And I have to give him credit for that. So you can kind of understand, and from a load-bearing point of view, obviously with Tanaka not being in, Farke said that he'd been in the ice bath before he'd even come to the press conference. So I wasn't massively happy with the first half, but we contained Liverpool. We stopped them from having any shots on target, which was it's kind of the main thing. And then the curse of the start, the curse of the 10 minutes for the second half, which for me absolutely needs studying, came about again. It was infuriating that happens. Joe Rodon plays an absolute hospital ball across the middle. I had a bit of an argument with somebody on X about it because they were completely blaming Farke for that. And my thing was, Rodon should be looking where he's playing the ball. He absolutely needs to be looking at where he's playing that ball. Otherwise, that ball doesn't happen. For me, he either clears it or he plays it back to the keeper. But instead, he plays almost like a blind ball across the line. And Ekitike just manages to get in and score. Nice and simple goal for Liverpool. And it's 1-0 down. And you're thinking, Jesus, here we go. And then 5 minutes later, it's 2-0. Goodmanson gets caught out. The ball comes in back around again. Across the middle. Perry comes out to try and save it. And it's 2-0. And for me, I'll be honest, I said in the group chat that I was in, that's game. I don't see us being able to get back from that. And this is kind of the trauma of being part of a Leeds United fan with Farke in charge when we're playing conservative football, it doesn't suit us. When we're playing high pressing football, it does suit us. And the midfield was just completely out of energy. We needed a little bit of spark. We needed that progressiveness in there. So he makes the change. the energy is lacking. So what does he do? He brings on Brendan Aronson. He brings on Tanaka. Energy, energy, energy. And Nonto as well. And for me, I know Slot's complaining about the penalty, but it's a penalty. Calvert-Lewin puts the penalty in, and immediately when those changes have been made, we've started to press a little bit higher, and we're starting to push Liverpool back a little bit, and it's starting to work in our favour, as evidenced by when Stack comes on, or when Stack scores the second goal to make it 2-2. There's the play between Nonto, Aronson, the nice little 1-2 between Nonto and Aronson. The ball then goes into Stack. Stack plays a lovely reverse shot just to absolutely outfoxes the Liverpool keeper to put it into the keeper's low right-hand side, our left-hand side. It's 2-2. It's bedlam. Everything's fantastic. Now, at that point, we'd gone to like a 4-3-3. As soon as it got to 2-2, Farke was screaming at them to go back into a 3-4-3 formation, and they didn't. And that's the reason why Szoboszlai's there to be able to score that goal. Because if we'd gone back into the 3 at the back, that then makes it easier for that goal to be cut out and for it to remain at 2-2. Because we didn't, it then goes back to 3-3. It then goes back to 3-2, and you just think, Jesus, all of that hard work, and that happens. And it's like, we've just done everything for absolutely nothing, and that's what happens there. It just, ridiculousness. And then, from a corner, the ball gets weirdly flicked on, but Tanaka is there at the back post. And Jer mentions it on his review, and I saw it, and I thought exactly the same thing. He shoots into the ground, which spoons the ball up to go into the top left-hand side again, and it's 3-3, and it is absolute pandemonium in Ellen Road. And it's, again, that crowd makes special things happen under the light, and I don't think people realise it. Particularly fans that might not be completely used to us, they don't realise what that crowd does to these players. It's just feral, and I love it, and it's just brilliant, and it's amazing. And we walk away with a 3-3. Another point. Who would have thought that out of Man City, Chelsea, and Liverpool that we would be walking away with 4 points? That we would be walking away having scored 8 goals. 8 goals? 3, 6. Yeah, and walking away having scored 8 goals in those games. And what this is about, more than anything, and this is why I want to give some respect to Daniel Farke on this one, is for me, he got the starting instructions up for this game, he got wrong because we were too passive. That doesn't work for the style of play. It doesn't work for the type of footballers that we've got, in my opinion. So he switches it in this game, and immediately we see the difference in what it brings. He did it against Man City, and immediately you see the difference in what that brings. He kept to that formation against Chelsea, high press, and you see what that brings. What he's shown over these last kind of 3 games is that he does have the ability to adapt and to change things. And he does have the ability to change things around and make things a little bit different. But he needs to continue in this vein. He needs to continue with this high press, because that's the type of players that we've got. And that's what these players have the ability to do. And particularly when you're changing things around, like going to 4-3-3 in the middle of a game, or changing it to 3-4-3, or whichever way you want to pull it around, that's what we have the ability to do. There are different ways that this team can play, but we must play with a high press. We have to play with a high press. And we need to have those right sorts of players in the team. I've got to give... Tanaka's had the week of his absolute life, to be fair. Stack, fantastic. An assist and a goal. Brilliant today. Absolutely brilliant today. That fight, that determination in the second half is all that we want to see as a Leeds United fan base, because we can walk away feeling proud. That feels like a win tonight. Of course it does. It's not, but it does. But when you look at bigger picture again, Nottingham Forest got spanked today by Everton. That point for us moves us above Nottingham Forest on goal difference. So we're not 17th now, we're 16th. We've gained a position. It puts a little 3-point cushion between us and West Ham. These are the things that are important that you've got to look for. And like I said, we've got to look to keep maximising what this team has the ability to do. We need another Tanaka-type player in January, similar to what Jer said, if we're going to be moving forwards with this. We need like a number 10-y type attacking player, I think, is going to work quite well. We probably need another forward, and we probably need wing-back cover at the same time. But this could be a pivotal week for us as Leeds United fans. Absolutely, 100%. What are you supposed to do after a game like that? It's just absolutely nuts. It's just nuts. I've got to give credit to the team for the fight back and the desire not to down tools and just to shrink away. They all stood there and wanted to be counted and wanted to make a difference. And when you look at it, the changes that Farke made today, every single substitute had a hand in the goals. Bar Bornau, every single substitute had a hand in the goals. You've got to give him credit for that for this one. You have to. Like I said, we praise and we criticise in equal measure, and it's important to praise him for changing it and making the changes in the second half. But my critique of him is that we went way too passive in the first half. That's not going to suit us. Up until probably about the 65th minute, we were way too passive. Way too passive. And well done to Calvert-Lewin as well. He's now scored 3 goals on the bounce, and that's great for his confidence. I've got, fantastic for him. Really, really good for him. He's scoring goals. Nemetcha scoring goals. He's going to be out for a little while, but just good. I'm feeling a lot better than what I was when it went 2-0 down. We got it back to 2-2. The sucker punch of 3-2, but then to fight back again and make it 3-3. We're absolute box office, and everybody knows it. And it was also really nice to hear the devastation in Gary Neville's voice, Mr. Impartiality, when we got the third goal in. Just brilliant all round. That's going to do it for this one. Sorry that I've not done the statistical stuff that I normally kind of do. I just wanted to talk more than anything. So I do hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, please let me know down in the comment section. If you've disagreed with anything that I said, disagree with anything that I say, that's absolutely fine. That's what we're here for. Do it respectfully, not a problem at all. Make sure you subscribe, notifications on. Take care of each other. Most importantly, take care of yourself. I need to go and have a cold bath myself, I think. I've not even had a shower yet from the gym. I'm still sweating or still sweaty. So my crotch is like a giant salt lick. Make of that what you will. I'll talk to you on the next one. Cheers.